Welcome to Verbal Pick Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. I want to start off with Justice for Mario Woods, Justice for Mario Woods Coalition, Hip Hop for Justice, Justice for Mario Woods. The mayor of San Francisco asked for Department of Justice investigation into the shooting death of Mario Woods. Beyonce at the Super Bowl, last Super Bowl, had a sign Justice for Mario Woods as they was dressed in the Black Panthers regalia, Black Panthers style of clothing. That made me have a great deal of respect for Beyonce for standing up, because we do criticize a lot of celebrities, and justly so, because there's a lot of celebrities who do not stand up, and I understand why. When you make money in that industry and your agent is white, your lawyer is white, the record label owner, exec is white, and they let you know don't get involved in anything that could hurt the label or hurt the artist as an individual, as a brand for the label. And if your audience is predominantly white, then you're not allowed to speak out on black issues in fear of isolating or turning away white fans. So a lot of celebrities stay silent because they don't want to lose their funding. Let's put it like that. And so when you have a celebrity with the magnitude of a Beyonce who comes out and gives her energy into justice for Mario Woods, then that's something to be recognized. Now, a gang of police officers surrounded this young man who they say was wielding a knife, stabbed someone. They claim drugs, this and that, shot him down as if he was unhuman. Shot him basically all over his body, including his back, his head, and so forth. And when the mayor calls for a investigation from the Department of Justice, that's telling you that the measure that was used to detain Mario Woods was to the extreme, and it was beyond the call of a peace officer, and it was savagely done. So you have to call for a Department of Justice. Now, where society plays a blame in all of this is we glorify stupidity, and we glorify habits that are non-productive for black people as a whole. And sometimes we like to make excuses for wrongdoings to justify the fact that we also at one time or another participated in those wrongdoings. Example, when the CIA allowed drugs to enter into the black community. And we are familiar with that story through Freeway Rick Ross. We all understand that we were used as cannon fodder in a war dealing with Nicaragua, and the guns that we helped to purchase out of the community for their agenda. We were being used, and we are continuously being used in agendas that's not in the best interest of us as a people, but in the best interest of your former slave master, white supremacy, whatever you want to call it. We, especially churches, we start off with the church because the church is the first place that receives the youth at a very young age. I mean, they bring their children to church at the 3 months, 2 weeks old. So the mind of the youth starts off in the church with the pastor. That's the first chance to save a young black mind. Because the pastor is supposed to put that word, that true word of God, to make the youth, when their first encounter with religion or going into, let's say, a religious house, that pastor is supposed to put that knowledge in rearing those children so they can be a productive member of society for the benefit of their race. So the child goes to church, grows up in the church. By the time the child becomes a teenager, he don't want to have anything to do with the church. He's gone because the message is so blurred. It's not a clear message on Jesus, God, who is Jesus. A lot of the questions aren't being answered in the church, but yet the youth see money flowing in and out of the church, but they don't see it coming to their community. So, strike one, they out of there. Strike two is the school system. School system is number two that'll receive the mind of the youth. And their schools, they're not teaching any history of who they are, any type of knowledge that would benefit a young black male or young black female, although black females are hitting their strides as far as being business women, education, and economic gain. But the black male, he's not taught about that the first university to exist was in Africa. Like the young lady on that Facebook post who was talking to the alt-right leader, who also, the alt-right leader spoke at A&M, she said that we taught you all science and mathematics, and we taught you all how to speak when you were in the caves. Where are you pulling your information of white dominance or white supremacy? Where are you getting that from? Because we have the history of your start. We have your history on record. So how did you become this superior being that goes against the true facts of your beginning? But what she was referring to is not being taught in the school system. They're giving lies on Columbus discovered America. Everyone knows there was people already here, Native Americans here, and also the Native Americans helped to establish the government that we are in at this moment. So, number two, the school system failed a lot of the youth, male and female. Number 3, justice system failed the black male, meaning I'm young, I'm minding my own business, I'm having thoughts of my future, I'm walking along my neighborhood, I'm thinking of ways to be productive. I'm pulled over by a white officer. I ask, what's the reason or purpose of you pulling me over? Because I'm in a good mood. What's the problem? Get on the ground. Why get on the ground? You get slammed, body slammed to the ground. And from that point on, your faith in the justice system is gone. Man, you all been treating me like I was a second-class citizen from my first encounter. So now I'm bitter. Now I'm angry. Now I'm creating a box for myself, or I'm in the matrix now. And no one in my family or no one that I know have that knowledge to pull me up out of a condition that's not good for me or my community, because I've been mishandled by the same Justice Department that my tax dollar goes into. I'm treated like a second-class citizen. I'm disrespected. I wasn't properly educated by my community, meaning the school system that's in the community where I grew up, didn't give me anything to prepare me for this vicious world society or business dealing, or this cutthroat business dealing that society has set up as a whole, that I'm not prepared to deal with. And the only person who has the knowledge, or what they call the lion's paw, to raise up an individual, that would be Brother Farrakhan. But since white folks told me not to listen to Brother Farrakhan, and some pastors and preachers alike, then I'm afraid to go that way, because all the stories I heard of Brother Farrakhan. So my alternative is, I'm back out in the streets amongst the muck and the mess. And you're trying to tell me that selling dope, being in a gang, robbing, murdering, stealing, killing people, you're trying to tell me that's a better alternative than NOI. That's insanity that we have to clear up. So when we say justice for Mario Woods, well, when I say here on Verbal Pick Radio, justice for Mario Woods, I'm not just talking about Mario Woods, because Mario Woods is an example of millions of the youth in America today. I'm really speaking upon justice for the black man entirely. And I'm talking about psychologically, emotionally, and physically justice. Because if you don't have justice in all of those areas, then it will create the atmosphere to be confronted by what Tariq Nasheed calls race soldiers. You know, meaning you have to know in order to justify your actions. And so you will have people who do love you Let me put it like this: to get out in the heat on a corner, being respectable and respected in a community, in a suit, to give you knowledge, titled The Final Call, that's nothing but love. That's love for the community. Because we all know the proper knowledge will save your life. You know how many lives the Final Call newspaper has saved in America? See, but you don't have to get in the room, close the door with about 3-4 of your friends and read the Final Call, because you don't want to do it in public because you feel as though you'll be offending someone. Those days are gone. The truth shouldn't offend. The truth should help. So, publicly, while you at Starbucks, pull out your Final Call. While you're at waiting at the bus stop, wherever, at the restaurant, in a sense, pull out your Final Call newspaper and read. Let other people who's sitting across from you read it from the back. That back, it'll be the front page to them. But let them see the titles and read. Nothing wrong with that. Knowledge is power, and it's packed full of knowledge. I know. If I didn't know, I wouldn't tell you so. Trust me. So Mario Woods represents millions of black men in America who could be in that position at any given time. As far as lifestyles, and the reason why I say as far as lifestyles, because I want to get into this for about the next 10, 15 minutes or so. It might be shorter than that, but the Polite and Sinetta, should we call it controversy or disagreement? Let me, for those who don't understand what I'm speaking on, let me break it down for a minute. Polite is a student and was a student under Malachi York, the Duck L. Dr. York, Malachi York, who's been on the conscious community and speaking on the circuit for some years now, who hit fame, and some saying since he's got notoriety that he turned his back on those who supported him by making statements that, in other words, get out the hood, do something better for your life, and that the Black Power movement is dead because it doesn't produce anything for the person that's in the Black Power movement. And he stated that he made enough money to where he could move out the hood into a better place. He's made statements about one guy streaming line that where he had roaches running across the screen, and said that he understood that, but come on, roaches, we should be living better than that. And my opinion and my take from Sinetta is saying that you wouldn't be Brother Polite if it wasn't for Sinetta interviewing him on his network and show, and having some of his work that he was selling at one of his stands, and that he introduced Brother Polite to Phil Valentine and Dr. Ben and others to give Brother Polite that prestige, august body of scholars and teachers to where it helped elevate Brother Polite as a lecturer or speaker in the conscious community. And from my personal opinion is the people who scrape together their nickels and dimes and their dollars to give to Brother Polite, to allow him attention to be shined upon him, that's what made him a success. And then he would be able to meet with the Floyd Mayweathers and some of the celebrities, so they will extract him from the common black man and woman of quote unquote what they would perceive to be common, and say, look, you have to stop preaching that black power, preach go get the money, because what's happening is that so many people now are coming into consciousness to where certain business owners are losing money because the conscious community is not focusing on their brand of products. So they need someone to shake it up. And they pay you handsomely to be the one who goes in and shakes up or disturb something that's on the move that might be detrimental to their products or their brand. So we have to get someone who's influential, who just came up out of the conscious community, who knows it well, who will then turn around and try to discourage people from being part of it, which is just basically knowledge. So that's what that is. That's where we're at today. But hopefully, in time, it all works itself out, because the movement, and you have Hip Hop for Justice, you have the Justice for Mario Woods, you have a lot of strong organizations out there that's waking the people up, and Brother Farrakhan is waking the people up by the thousands. So the day of, let's say, the day of being the obstacle in the way of black people are waking up, those days are gone, because the knowledge is powerful. That information of black power, black knowledge, it does help, and it does also help to make money, because you're aware and you know what it takes to achieve your goal, and you go after your goal with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, mathematics and science to achieve that goal, because that type of teachings is not taught in the public school systems. So you have to go to those who know, or the conscious circuit, to build up a strong mind in order to go after and achieve your goals. So the deal with Brother Polite and Sadnetta, it is what it is, but at the end of the day, knowledge is power, and go after what you desire in a productive and positive manner, and build for you and your family first, and then the community as a whole. But charity starts at home. So if the home is dysfunction, then your works will be dysfunction. Verbal Pick Radio, your host Cole Black, aka Vince Cole Muhammad. Get the book Consequence by Vince Cole Muhammad. Tell your friends about the Spreaker, Verbal Pick Radio, Everyday People, YouTube, Instagram, And we out.